Hello everyone, my name is Alina and I'm Regional Development Manager at Galileosky. Let's check if everyone hears me well and sees me and the presentation. If everything is okay, please text something in the chat. Great, okay. Great, thank you. Well, let's start. First of all, thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our webinar dedicated to how to use Galileo Sky trackers for multifunctional projects in different business areas. Firstly, a few words about the webinar. Today we will talk about in which industries GPS trackers can be used. We will discuss how GPS system integrators expand functionality under their projects, offering processes optimization to their customers. Finally, we will share what results global companies have achieved using Galileo Sky hardware. As usual, the presentation will take about 1 hour, and the record will be sent to all participants, so you can share it with colleagues who did not have an opportunity to join us today. You can text all the questions you might have during the presentation in question tabs, so I will answer them when the presentation ends. Here you can see where you can find the buttons for the question tab. We also have the chat where you can share your thoughts and ideas with each other, so welcome. For the beginning, let's check if does somebody have any experience with extraordinary solutions, for example, to control the stationary assets or some unusual objects. Please share if you have any experience in the chat. Oh, okay. Probably do you face with some unusual projects or some interesting cases, business cases? Okay. Okay, Alexander. How often do you face such requirements from the customer? I mean, some interesting cases. Okay. Well. Okay, let's start. Let's start from the probably most illustrative example, which is remote control of stationary. Oh, so okay, great. As I mentioned, the most illustrative example, which is remote control of stationary assets in agriculture. This business field is essential, so agriculture manufacturers faced with great issues how not to stop the production during the quarantine. Our partner from Russia created IoT system to automate and control greenhouse remotely for one of the largest Russian producers of vegetables. They called it IoT Greenhouse version 1.0. Greenhouse is some kind of ecosystem, so certain temperature and humidity should be sustained there for the comfortable growth of plants. And the main challenge is how to control the environment, which is vital to have a good harvest. And our partner who implemented this project saw the opportunity in this challenge. All parameters inside the greenhouse were measured manually by someone who comes to the greenhouse and check what is the temperature, what is the humidity, what is the temperature of the soil, and so on. So it took a lot of time and efforts, and moreover, there were no opportunities to react immediately if something was wrong, since staff were not there constantly. And what our partner did? They pick up 7 different sensors to control the microclimate inside the greenhouse. 6 of them were for microclimates and the one for soil humidity and temperature. All of these sensors communicated in different protocols. Some of them communicated with the tracker of analog signals. Some of them worked through serial ports. So Galileosky device was a great tool for it, since first of all there are various combination of interfaces in our devices, so you can pick up the most suitable for your requirements. And the second is that using EasyLogic technology, all our partners have an opportunity to integrate any device which is required for their projects. Thus, our partner created a script which helps to connect those sensors over RS 845, and all the data from sensors were transmitted to the server, to the mobile platform automatically. As a result, any data comes to the cloud without staff participation, so nobody should come to Greenhouse to measure and upload it. Moreover, the integrator moved ahead. They automated the rest of the processes. For this purpose, they created another script. So now when certain parameters reach their critical values, the tracker generates certain actions to change the mode of operation of the climate aggregate. So nobody even should come to the greenhouse to manage the equipment. And it helped the customer to avoid unnecessary servicing of the greenhouse, since the air and soil temperature and humidity were managed automatically without human operation. As a result, no staff is required inside the greenhouse, while a dispatcher instantly receives the reports on equipment operation remotely. When any of greenhouse parameters should be changed, the tracker sends all the required commands to the climate aggregate automatically. In addition, a dispatcher always has an opportunity to manage the equipment manually from the while on by sending a few commands to the tracker. So such the system helps the customer not only to decrease the number of staff, but also to increase the efficiency, obviously. And this case is not only about how to work during the epidemic, but also about how to automate business process, how to manage effectively various types of assets, how to use opportunities to increase the efficiency, offering innovative and flexible solution. The next case is about monitoring of fuel tanks for the oil field service company. Tanks for diesel fuel storage were located on a deserted territory, and the main problems there were the absence of electricity, harsh climate, and low temperature. Besides, tanks were not equipped with any fuel level sensors, and it was the reason for fuel theft, calculations errors, and also large expenses for covering losses, obviously. Thus, the fuel level control system with an autonomous power source and regular data transfer to the server was required by the customer. One more challenge was that special frost-resistant equipment should be used, since it has to operate at temperature below 30 degrees. Because here in Russia, it's a really great problem, because sometimes in our climate conditions, equipment is not able to work correctly. So it was really essential requirements. And the solution offered by integrator was following. On the basis of Galileosky base block Wi-Fi, the integrator built the system, which includes fuel level sensors, gel batteries, remote antennas, and 2 solar panels as a power source. Wi-Fi capability was required because of GSM signal instability in the region, while gel batteries were a relevant solution for low temperature, since they preserve the capacity even in frost. It works like solar panels, charge batteries. Next, power goes to the fuel sensor and the tracker, and then all the data regularly upload to the monitoring server. As a result, weather condition and the lack of electricity no longer interfere with the stable operation of the equipment. And the customer received a reliable and, what is more important, accurate fuel control system. And moreover, they avoid risks for theft and drains of diesel fuel, what is the main purpose actually. The next case is about how the largest sugar factory in Central America optimized its operation and reduced the cost of water and fuel consumption and fleet maintenance obviously using Galileosky base block light. The customer, the sugar factory in Guatemala, faced with several problems caused by inaccurate measurement of water and fuel consumption. To irrigate fields, the factory uses not only stationary but also some mobile systems that run on diesel engines. So firstly, there were no water and fuel consumption data on a regular basis, since only few flow meters were used there. And secondly, there was no confidence in the overall statistics, since the data from irrigation system often was not included in reports. And our partner in Tecomseh connected a digital magnetic flow meters working via Modbus to base block light. Thus, the tracking unit operates power supply of the fuel flow meter and magnetic flux, preserving irrigation system battery charge during stops. Besides, Tecomseh implemented pressure sensors, which were connected to the tracker to monitor and measure pressure on nozzles of the irrigation line. And furthermore, together with the customer, Tecomseh developed an online platform to display water and fuel consumption and analyze their cost. It was available because our data exchange protocol is open, so any of our partners has the opportunity to use software which is required especially for their projects. As a result, when the project was implemented, factories management can monitor the status of all irrigation installations on different plantations in real time, and also always knows if equipment works on schedule, day and hours. In terms of engine speeds and pressure in the irrigation system, they optimize the equipment usage and do not overload and damage it as it used to be. Moreover, there is a significant fuel economy because the factory knows how much engines consume during working time. The next interesting case is about automatic accounting of bus washing with usage of EasyLogic technology. The original system that was used by the customer includes barcodes on buses, which manually scanned by car wash workers, and then a worker should bring the data collection terminal to the office to upload the data to the PC and create a report. This process obviously took a lot of time and efforts, and moreover, the equipment was often damaged by workers, while the renovation was very expensive. And finally, there were no, problems with the reliability of statistics, since car wash workers very often falsify the data. That is what the reason it was decided to automate the process. Our partner Bytesoft, it's a Russian company who worked under this project, has developed the solution using EasyLogic programming. For this purpose, RFID readers were connected to Galileosky 5.0. Drivers received RFID cards, and each time when a car wash worker scanned them, reports are created automatically in the program. These reports include information about the bus, about time when it arrives at the car wash, and also the number of wash sessions paid by transport company in advance. The main advantage of the new system was quick implementation and easy maintenance. As a result, the simple algorithm allows to control automatically the washing of vehicles of different owners and to reduce the human factor and the cost of car wash. Well, let's check how many of you have already some experience with EasyLogic. Maybe someone would like to share their experience or some interesting tasks solved using EasyLogic programming. Please don't hesitate to write in the chat. We will be glad to receive your feedback. Okay. So let's go ahead. Okay. The next case, it's actually my favorite case, is about how Galileosky devices can be used in civil aviation. One of agricultural factories from Russia required to monitor the airplane for water in the fields. As a rule, some specialized and expensive hardware and software are used for such tasks. However, the customer wanted to find a cheaper and easier solutions. So our partner, Intera company, combined various devices with software into the one system, one new system, and developed absolutely new solution. They have connected Galileosky version 5.0 to the onboard plane equipment. Using EasyLogic opportunities, they have integrated some atmospheric pressure and temperature sensors, which communicate with the tracker over Bluetooth connection. Violon was chosen as the software solution for the data visualization, so the airplane engine performance and location are available for the customer on the Violon hosting. Moreover, they have created the Android application to display engine speed and hours, fuel level, flight altitude of the airplane, so dispatcher controls all the important parameters of the airplane performance online. It significantly simplified the monitoring process, actually. And as a result, EasyLogic technology allowed to add new features, protocols, and logic of equipment operation. So Intera experts have created a convenient tool for monitoring airplane data, and the customer received the completed solution, which was as effective as professional, but at the same time was cheaper and more accessible. Well, let's summarize what are the main advantages of work with Galileosky hardware. First of all, it allows to automate almost any business process in order to reduce human factor, increase the accuracy of work, and the efficiency as well. The remote control and management are the significant part of automation, of course. Sometimes assets are located so far, sometimes they are located in hard-to-reach areas, where it's difficult or expensive to organize the departure of specialists. That is the reason why in all our trackers, the remote configure and firmware updates are available. It can be done in the configurator program, on monitoring platform, or via SMS, for example. So you can choose any convenient option. Next, identification also became one of the basic features. So Galileosky users can set various scenarios of access to objects, whether it's entering of PIN code or usage the key, for example. And what is more important can be done quite easier, since we always try to not only develop a flexible solution, but also to make it easier and available for integrators with different backgrounds in monitoring business. Our configurator has a quite intuitive interface, as well as EasyLogic allows to create absolutely new functionality by simple dragging of script segments. I mean, like events and reaction segments. Therefore, using Galileosky hardware, you can solve almost any technical task. Only that you need is to use your imagination in order to understand which particular solution is needed and how it should work. In case you don't know how to implement a project, our team is always ready to assist you to pick up the equipment, to advise how to realize the connection, or how to create an easy logic script. All you need is just tasks. So any solution will consist of three components. A peripheral which is required for your tasks. Our easy logic technology, as I mentioned already, allows to integrate any device, no matter how specific it is. The second is a software solution. So you can use any monitoring platform from already integrated, or even to create your own if it's required for a project. Our server exchange protocol is open and the same for all our devices. That simplifies the integration procedure significantly. Anyway, we always are ready to assist you in the integration process if it's required. Our specialists actively participate in testing of such integrations, so welcome. And finally, the system core is the flexible and reliable GPS controller, which allows to combine the equipment and the software into the one system. And it was the last thing we wanted to share you today. Now we have some time to answer your question in case you have. I'm sure you are. So please feel free to text. The question from Mr. Singh. Which fuel system you recommended for large fuel tanks, like in their presentation? As you have mentioned, the tank is rather big, so standard capacity fuel sensors might be used there, but given not the most accurate data, which was their must in the project. So our partner there used some magnetic sensors which were integrated over easy logic. And the second question, I see that the second question was answered already by my colleague. And let me just add that from our perspective, it doesn't matter what would be the flow meter model which you use. It's up to you. You can use any device. We are just the gateway between the flow meter and the platform. So all you need is just check if such integration can be implemented via easy logic algorithms, or just send us the protocol of matters you're interested in, so we can check if it should be done from our side. However, as our experience shows, the majority of flow matters can be integrated with easy logic algorithms. Mechatronics flow meters are already integrated with our equipment, so there should not be any particular issues to connect and use them. The question from Mr. Stefanovich: can any of your fuel level meters be applied to remote LNG applications? Actually, let me draw your attention that we do not have any our own flow meters or sensors, because we focus on development of advanced programmable GPS trackers only. But could you please specify what does it mean by LNG? Okay, the question from Mr. Loretta. I need a solution for ATM bank machines. Yeah, we actually already worked under such requests. So We will be glad to discuss this project with you later when the webinar ends. I suppose it's a really interesting task, so we are ready to discuss it. The question from Alex: how sensors are connected to trackers? It depends on sensors you use, because it can be done through RS3, 232, or 485, or some analog signal. So it depends on the external devices. Our trackers have all the required interfaces to do it. The question from Carl: what are the difference between the 2G and 3G tracker? First of all, it's capability of 3G availability of 3G connection, because in some regions there is only 2G connection, while some region like Central America or Latin America has no opportunity now for 2G connection. Are you planning to launch GSM satellite tracker with Inmarsat? We actually have a satellite solution in our product line. It's Galileosky base block Iridium, so it works with both GSM and Iridium network. So, is it any particular? Yeah, I see. But we are currently now we now have only Iridium solution in our product line, and as a rule, it's enough because Iridium network have 100% coverage. Okay, you're welcome. Andre, thank you for your clarification. Liquid natural gas. Well, I believe that application can be integrated with our equipment if it's required, because our server exchange protocol is open, and we are always ready to provide any required assistance to software developers to integrate our equipment to the platform. So if it's required, yeah, it's possible to integrate any application. In case you have any questions which we have not answered yet, or you have a project which you would like to discuss now, please let me know in the chat. I will be glad to advise now. The next question: in fleet management for car GPS tracking, what added value you can provide than the others in the market? We'll be glad to discuss it with you later when the webinar is soon. So if it's convenient for you, my colleagues or me could contact you later when it's convenient for you. And we also will be glad to see you our next webinar, which as a rule dedicated to various topics which can be interesting for our partners. But as a manufacturer representative, I can say that our equipment really has some significant difference from other manufacturer, because first of all, it's about easy logic opportunities. Because this technology, as you can see, allows to use our hardware for absolutely different business for various and sometimes extraordinary projects. As I already described, our devices are used to develop solutions for stationary management, like car wash. So it's really limited only by your imagination. Do you have a fleet maintenance module also included? Did I understand properly that you mean some features to form the reports about maintenance of a car? Because I believe that this feature Okay. As a rule, this part is implemented by software sites, so the tracker transmits all the required information to form the reports about vehicle operation, and then the software, some reports are created on the platform, which is assist and support the customer to make a decision about vehicle maintenance. Okay, Alexander, thank you. Okay, probably do you have any new case, any other question? Probably some details about the presented projects can be interesting for you. Okay. Okay, if there are no new questions, I guess we finish for today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us today. I hope the topic was interesting for you, and please do not hesitate to contact me and my colleagues if any details about the presented projects or other solution might be interesting for you. We'll be glad to share. You can um, you can send all the requests and all questions you have on our email sales@7geese.com. Okay, thank you. And thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Bye and have a nice evening. Bye.